Okay, so you see me, hear me? Okay. So my name is Alexei. Today I'm going to present you assessment control system, which was developed for Portnov Computer School. So the purpose of the system is the creation and organization of the quizzes, and creation and grading assignments for the students, managing students, tracking their progress. So we have two deployed versions right now, one for staging, for testing purposes, for adjustment, whatever, and the one version in production, which you're currently going to use for real data, real student results. So I'll briefly go through the whole section of application and describe you how it works, how to use it, and so first of all, it's login and registration in application. So system allows to register to anybody as a student through the email confirmation. So it's pretty standard approach. Anybody can, knowing the address, can go into the system and register himself. So all systems, all users in the system separated into two roles. It's the student and the teacher. Of course, also default role is a student. So when anybody registers in the system, he considered as a student. So students, of course, have limited functionalities such as passing assignments and reviewing their own result after teacher or automatic system will grade this assignment. So the teachers, from other side, have the functionality to create a quiz, given assignments, review, grade submitted assignments from the students, and track progress of any user. So the main screen looks very straightforward. It has a login form for the users who already have access and the registration button. So when you click the registration button, the new form appears. So user should fill the first name, last name, his actual email. We recently added the group code, which allow to separate users to the group, and will be, I think, a little bit easy to manage the students by group, to select them. So the password, of course, and the password confirmation. And as soon as you fill this form, this message should appear, that just a confirmation that, sorry, that's a mistake. So this message will appear, and you should receive in your email the confirmation link. So when you click that link, your account will be confirmed and you'll be able to log into the system. So the question is how to create the, probably might occur in your mind, how to create the new teachers. You need to add some teachers as well as you. So any teacher is able to promote any user, any student to the teacher, change his role or her role. So in order to do that, we have the user management section. So you go to the user management and you'll see that's user, that's how it appears. And there is a menu here. I will show you just in a second on a live demo of that. So you're able to change the role, and that particular user become the teacher. In order to permission to be applied, that user need to log out and log in into the system. So of course, this will happen not often, but anyway, if you would like to add some more teachers, any other teacher should do this stuff to allow system to allow user to use it as a teacher. So yep, and let's do a quick demo of that part. So okay. I do not have internet access. Sorry. Yep. Give me a sec. Nope. We didn't check internet connection. Mikhail, could you pause the video for a sec, please? So you might use it to address this, one of them for production and for the staging, as I mentioned before. So I go through the registration process. I click registration button and fill the form. Of course, we need to use a real email because we need a confirmation letter in order to register. The group code, usually we assume the student that's going to register in the system will have this code from a teacher somehow. Yeah. So from other side, if you're going to create a teacher, you just can put anything there, and afterwards this will be eliminated since he becomes a teacher or she. So.
What the teacher has a different login registration?
Sorry?
What the teacher going on the different registration?
No, that's the same. So everybody registered to that form, and afterwards any other teacher able to switch the user to. So.
But who is the first teacher who can?
It's administrator. We already have it. Renat has access to that.
Okay.
And I, of course, provide records for you as well.
It's administrator, teacher.
No, the administrator is actually the teacher. It's just very first.
Oh, okay.
It's just a name.
Got it.
So you click registration. Comes in.
So we are hosting that, so it's hosted inside this college.
Yep.
And we want to register them in a class. You don't want to take risks of them not being able to connect.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah, sometime when the system is not working for a long time, it go in the sleep mode, so it might take, the first request might take a long time. So, yep, you see, that's the confirmation. And if I open my Outlook, I believe that I should receive the message from assessment control. So I'm confirming my, oh my gosh. Okay, definitely they have some problems with that. Yeah. Yeah, that's because of we have rerouting inside the school. We probably need to adjust that. I will talk with Renat after that. So the account was activated, and right now I opened that in a different window. So so right now I should be able to log in into the system with, how do I call that? Demo. Gmail.com. Yep, that's the student interface, and it's pretty simple right now. Of course, there is no assignment yet for that user, so there is no grades and almost nothing for system, but we go through that further. So in different window, I have the same console, but it so I'm gonna use the teacher account, and I will switch between them in order to demonstrate the ability. So as you can see, the administrator has much more privileges and much more stuff in the menu you're able to do. So if I go to the user management, right now I see that live user appeared here as a student. So I click on them, and I have the options. So able to change his name, change user's role, which I mentioned before, to switch him to the teacher, and change user group. If he made a mistake, or you would like to rearrange the students somehow to regroup, so you're able to do that from the section. That was a button right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just appears. So that's about registration, and yeah. So other part of the screen from user manager, you have of course teachers. So in case of something happen, you're able to switch back teacher to student. And of course, you have ability to delete that user, of course, as soon as he's not part of the. But keep in mind, if you delete the user, you will delete all records associated with him, so all results, all assignments that he made or she made, so will disappear. So probably not a good way to do that, but that's about registration. Do you have any questions or anything related to registration and login into the system?
So how the validation of email would be done?
So you enter the email and you
Based on the format of email? Because
on the form, on the UI, yeah,
Okay.
that's a just standard
Yeah,
email
that's
validation. Standard email validation, yep. All the fields. So the password requirements is something like main characters, 5 letters. You will see that this is a pretty dynamic thing. So when you enter, it will highlight you immediately. So and a responsive system. Anything else? Are we good to go? Okay. So the next part is the quizzes itself. So what's the quiz? Quiz is a set of the questions with the rules, with the correct questions, with the appropriate points. It's like questionnaire. And it becomes the assignment when your teacher made the assignment, when you associate a certain quiz with one or a group of the students. So on the quiz section, you have the list of all quiz in the system currently available. Of course, if any teacher creates the quiz, it appears there, it's available for other teachers to use. So from this quick overview, you're able to preview, edit, and delete quiz, of course. And for creation new, straightforward, create new button. So clicking that button will lead you to the building quiz module. It has ton of different inputs, so I will go very quickly through them. So on the top you have the straightforward the name of the quiz, which will appear. On the right, you have the passing rate, when you're able to change the amount of percentage in order student to pass the quiz. So the percentage will be adjusted and the points will be automatically recalculated based on the amount of the points total available in the system. So you add in the questions to the quiz by clicking the Add Question button. So after that, you need to select the type of the question. Currently, system supports the textual, single choice, and multiple choice questions. So you select the type, and based on that selection, other fields may appear. So of course, for the text question, you will not have any options, things like that. So here you have the slider, which allow you to set the points per that question. So the value might be from the 1 to 10. That's the limitation. So question text, of course. And for the single and multiple choice, you have the options, which need to be written here. So you just put the values, select the correct answers. Here there's some settings button where you're able to rearrange the options between delete options. So do a little bit local adjustment there. So here there are also 2 additional checkboxes. One allows the have text area other for the bottom of the question to user to input whatever additional thoughts about the question or explanation. And we also have the showstopper question. So showstopper question, I don't know, are you familiar with that logic? No?
No.
Okay.
It means if you fail the question, you fail the whole
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Agree.
Yeah, so the showstopper question applicable only for the textual and the single choice. So it's not available to the multiple choice.
It is one for the whole.
Yes. So yeah, if you set it here, so it will disappear from other.
So just one showstopper for the entire.
Yep. Here the preview, save, and literally back button. So when you click the save and actually the save and preview available only when your form is complete. So if it's something missed right there, when you click that, it will be highlighted with red. So system will not allow you to save the incompleted or preview an incompleted quiz. The good thing about that also, so you're working in the context of one quiz, and of course I understand that it might have a lot of questions. Sorry about that. So system tracks the change you make, and if it happens occasionally, somehow, accidentally, I would say, you close the tab or close the browser without clicking the save button, the history of your changes saves locally in the browser. So next time when you open the quiz and would like to create a new one, when you will be slightly disappointed that quizzes appear, it will ask you, hey, we have scratched the changes that you made, would you like to restore them? So that's kind of coverage that system as well provides. So yeah, that's the thing that I already mentioned. So the preview and save available when quiz is correct. Incorrect question highlighted with red, and after changing 2 or more values, the system starts tracking the changes and provide you some kind of a mechanism for recovery. So, okay, that's demo time. That part. So, as a teacher right now, I'm going to the quiz section. There's an empty list. So I create a new quiz. It will be live demo quiz. Starting by adding the questions. So let's say the first one will be textual. What is regression testing? Let's say. So I'm able to adjust the points for the question. Say 10. Of course, I'm able to switch different type of question, and you see right now, as soon as I switch, that becomes red. That means that form isn't complete, so you miss something, and if you click the preview, you'll see even more like options that's required. So minimum, of course, 2 options when you have single choice or multiple choice. So we leave it as is. That will be a textual question. So we add one more, and choose A. I just put it to be more obvious further. So this is option A, and that's an option B, and we select the correct value, which is A. And let's say it will be showstopper, and we add as also other text area for that. So collab that.
Showstopper should be a textual.
It might be for the textual question and might be for the single choice.
Oh, okay.
So if you add, let's add one more, and it will be choose A and B, and it will be A, B. You see there is no showstopper checkbox right there. C and D, and we select A and B, let's say. It's correct. So that's the very simple. Let's do the 10 and 10. You see here the question as the number of the points per that question, so we aggregated right there. And currently, since this is 75% required, so it's 22 points from 30 maximum available system. So of course we can adjust that, whatever. You're able to preview it's how it will appear on the student screen. So not on the modal view, of course, but in general. So that's how the student will see this quiz. So it will see the prompt for answering the text, choose A, B, whatever, other options, and the showstopper question as well will be highlighted, notifying the students that's.
So they don't know the value on each question.
Value?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Would you like to do that?
I don't know.
So that's Yeah, we will have the section for the feature requests, adjustments, or whatever you need. We will aggregate that.
Enough that they know showstopper.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, it's
Okay.
enough to know.
Okay.
So you secure the moment.
So,
Today.
and right now I'm clicking the save. Pretty straightforward. So we have one quiz appeared in the system. So, and here you can just add and create whatever you need. So this was all about the quizzes. Any questions? Anything?
How would other be graded?
How they will be graded?
You know how you add the other field?
Mm-hmm.
What if they write something there? How would it have to be checked manually by the teacher, or it would be?
I will talk about that in the next section when we move to the grading, how it works. It's a little bit complicated, but I explain you in details.
Teacher might use that to give or some extra training.
There,
It's an opportunity to show they might minimize.
okay, that was a mic. Nothing else? We good? Okay. So, returning back to our slides. Assignments. So, after you created a quiz, next you're probably going to do that's to create an assignment when you associate a certain quiz with the students or a group of the students. So, and again, that's pretty straightforward. You create, so when you move to the assignments, you see the list of already created assignment in the system. So you see the date when the assignment was created, how many students it was assigned to, and the quiz name. So you even see here, so this view appears many times in a different part of the system, but here you can track if you're doing something in a class, let's say. So when you update that page, you're able to see who already submitted, who's still pending submission. So you see, or already passed, failed, but by whom is graded, and you always teacher able to review the certain quiz to figure out any questions the student might have, or I don't know, any confusion points. So creating new assignments, go through the create new assignments button.
So since they are assigned to groups, so you can actually sort by the group and give it to the group.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, so it leads you to that screen. And again, pretty straightforward. You select the quiz and you select the students you would like to affect. By default, there is no filter, so everybody literally there, but you have the option for the group filters to be able to check the group and select all, so it will select everybody in that list. So that assignment immediately appear in their system. So students just need to refresh the page or do whatever action in the browser, and they will see that you have the new assignment that you need to pass. So let's do that. That's use. So we're going to assignment. There is no assignment. I'm selecting the quiz, and since only one user in the system currently is selected, he or she, you see this drop down and dynamically generated from all available groups currently. So if he's the student, we have only this group. So yeah, and we give an assignment, and that's it. So you see that assignment was given. So pending submission. So we're waiting student action on that, and here we go. We go to the student view, and when the student updates his page, he sees that, hey, you have one new assignment on the home page. So he goes to the My Assignments and see that you have one assignment that you need to be done. So here's the how student sees what's going on in the system. One interesting thing that I would like to show you, pretend that I am student. something like that.
He copy pasted
I wouldn't,
Yep. And I'm choosing A, and I'm choosing A plus B. Very nice. Submit. So your submission has been accepted. You might track the results in my grade page. So there are many pathways how the assignment can go through the system. So I will explain how it works, how we automatically assign, and how the logic works, as well as the slides will be attached to it somewhere in order for you to reference. So that's it about assignment and passing the quiz. Do you have any questions?
there is any search functionality?
Not yet.
Not yet, but it's going to be.
What about the search?
No, look, when we just create a lot of the assignments or quizzes, it could be just a situation when some students will just need to retake it, right? So I really would like to have an opportunity to quickly find
To quickly find what?
students through the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should be able to just,
Yeah, so right now the maximum value you can just select his group and find him in the list. I assume that it's around 20% in the group, something like that.
okay.
Yeah, but if we need additional like hot search, we can talk about that and include in the next version. So yeah, any filters?
Different classes, different
Well, in
students.
online class, we might have easily like 200 people.
Yeah, so it would be different quizzes for different purposes, right? We have right now what we have. We have 3 basically morning
Well, we
classes and
definitely need some way
something.
to locate the students, yeah.
something that will just
To locate the student, you have this functionality. So when you go to the system, you're able to see in user management section when you find this, and again, yeah, you need to find by name.
Yeah,
it will be
it's
sorted by
sorted
name.
Some criteria.
Yes, it's sorted by name.
Okay.
The first name, last name.
That's name is concatenated inside the database, so just how it's appeared, the first name and last name. So, but we can talk about, so
Yeah.
that's a, that,
We just thought that
I think that it will be much appreciated when you provide the feedback, what we really missed there, and we adjust the system afterwards according to your needs. That's not a big deal.
Okay, yeah, we will collect the input
Yeah.
and so.
I think that the bugs as well, so since nobody except me, except tested the system, so.
Because I'm just thinking a little bit kind of like further, because when we start to use the system, it would accumulate a lot of data. And
I'm sure that you'll need, or even in your mind will appear a lot of good ideas how to, because I don't know how the process is organized for you especially, so yeah. So submissions and grading. So once student passes the assignment, she submits the results back into the system. And first of all, that will be reflected in the submission section, which I go later. We'll show you later. So it might be reviewed, graded by the teacher in any point of time. So, and when the user submits the result of the quiz, it goes through the auto-grading mechanism, which allowed you to avoid teacher involvement as much as possible. So here's pretty maybe complicated block schema, but I will explain you very fast. So after user submits the answers, it goes to the analyze auto-grading mechanism, and the three possible results of that might happen. It's auto-graded and user passed the quiz. It's auto-graded and user failed the quiz, and that's required the teacher's review. So the first block is logic. So we check that does this entire quiz has a text question. So because that's most likely need teacher attention and review somehow to grade it. So if no, that's very simple. So we go through the first check. We check the does user failed on showstopper. If he failed, no matter how many scores he earned, so he goes to the failed section. So if he didn't failed on showstopper, we check the amount of score per all the questions, and if we pass the required percentage rate, so that's auto-graded and he passed the quiz. So this thing's a little bit more complicated when we have textual question inside the quiz. First of all, we check is the showstopper, if it exists, is it textual? And if it is, so we're moving anyway to pending review. So it's a critical textual question that need to be reviewed by teacher. Of course, we're doing the calculation of the questions that he passed as much as possible, but of course that's a pending review. No other way to. So if in that quiz with textual, with one or more textual questions per entire quiz, we have showstopper with a single choice option. So we check that. So and if he failed on the showstopper, no matter how he answered on the textual errors, we don't care about that. That automatically means that he failed the system. And if he didn't fail on that, so we check in that case score. So again, if the score is enough, you can even, let's say we had 3 questions and 10 question per 10 scores per question, and required rate was 20. So he answered technically 2 questions correct, no matter what he answered to the text. So we move him to the auto-graded pass. And if user doesn't grab a lot of score, of course we move him to the pending review. So we ask teacher to review that quiz. So the reviewing part.
But
Sure.
If the user failed, auto-graded failed, teacher still can go and look at the results and change the grade.
Auto-grading mechanism provides the minimum guaranteed score based on user answers. So anything of that might be adjusted to the upper, not to the lower, but to the upper. Of course, we set the 0 for the text question by default, but teacher adjusts that. So any point of time, you're able to find the user in the system and view all their results and go through the whole quiz, check the questions, and I don't know, whatever. So the submissions split into 3 sections. Actually, the first one is for grade, which requires teacher attention, automatically graded, and reviewed. So reviewed means the teacher already went through that and clicked save. So it's not required, but you can go through the automatically graded and click just save, 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 save. So these 2 tabs will be automatically cleaned up based on your workflow, and all results will be moved to reviewed part. So that's kind of workflow for the teacher. So you open the system, you click the for grade, and you see the list, what needs to be done, and you go through them, they disappear from that list and move to the reviewed. And reviewed, of course, the aggregation on everything. Probably not the best way to maintain that, but you're always able to go through the student, find the student, and after that filter all possibilities. So submission required for teacher review, automatically graded. Students group filter, yep, you have here. So you're able to localize, reviewed by teacher, yeah, and here's the buttons. So when you click the review is the name of the button, review, when you already reviewed that. And if you need a grade, it's a grade button. So, yeah. So the grading assignment interface, probably the last one. So it has header, footer, and the main body. So here you see the quiz, the student name, the group, when he submitted that quiz. That's the definition of the quiz, passing points. And here are the actual points from the quiz with the appropriate percentage rate. This is a result of current state of the system, which dynamically changed to the passed or failed based on the teacher adjustment. So, and you have for each question you have the two sections. You see the question, you see the maximum points per that question, and the green shows the correct question, which was in the quiz definition, and the actual selection was what user chosen. So you see here that 5, and then the 5 out of 5, and total points will be 5 for that question. And you cannot adjust the buttons are disabled because he already earned the maximum. So
they submitted at is the actual time when it was submitted.
yeah, yes.
Do they have any idea of how long it took?
No, because since it's a browser-based application, we actually cannot. So you are speaking about how to track when he opened the quiz and then measuring that time. Actually, that's we talk on our early stage of designing that. It's really hard to do. We can do that.
No, it's okay. It's not a big time.
And I'm underlying that technically user can open the quiz, do not submit anything, close it, go home, prepare for that and submit it. So, but there is only one way right now. Of course, that might be adjusted. We can measure how many times he opened, whatever. So any advanced statistics there. So see the big problem. The second question you see that was a multiple choice with 2 correct questions. So we had 5 points per that question. So it means that, and the 2 correct answers. So 2.5 per each. Here she selected all of them. So the math is easy here, I believe.
So it will deduct points and it will add points. So if they automatically select everything, boom, 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 boom.
That's a 0. It's always 0.
So
If he
it should discourage them from doing things like that.
if he will select, let's say, 3 out of 4, so we have plus 2.5, plus 2.5, and minus 2.5, which will be 2.5 in total, which we round, as Michael said, to upper, always upper, to 3. So here will be 3. So you technically will be able to adjust 2 plus if you would like to, based on the comment from the student on whatever. So for each question, you're able to put some comments if you'd like to. That's appear right there. Not a good example, but here you also might see the other result of other field from the student if you had. And teacher summary, of course. So if you would like to provide some summary, not mandatory. So you click in the save and everything will be moved to review. The student will be notified as soon as he graded by email.
So if you put some summary, it will come to the student and student can see it.
Yeah, student will see, I will show you just in a second. So user will see the same interface without that part and with all the comments and all the stuff. Yeah, when we determine final stage of the assignment, either it was automatically graded with success or fail, or by the teacher, he received the email saying that, hey, your assignment was graded, log in into the system and check. Demo of this part.
Yeah, since you copy pasted.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
So, yep, I'm going here and going to submissions. And you see that that was automatically graded because I reached 20 of 30, and that was a minimum score that I need to have. So I click the review, and boom, I see here that I answered correctly the showstopper, 10 points, and here +5, +5, and here I'm able to adjust based on teacher opinion. One thing that we didn't discuss, but I just did it how I thought about that. So if the showstopper is a textual, we can change that. But if the showstopper is a textual, the student need to get the maximum score in order to pass. So let's say you said that for that question is a showstopper, and you set the 10 points for that. So until the user will not grab the 10 points here, it means that he fails on the showstopper. I don't know, is it right logic or not?
Well, teacher can fix it anyway.
Yes, but teacher, in order to become this assignment passed, you need to put the 10
Yeah.
maximum.
It will be manually graded anyway,
Yeah,
since it is textual.
yeah. But it means, the text is correct, but halfway correct. It means that 3 out of 5, and it means that he failed on that.
So
Okay,
3
so
out of 5
to-
only 0.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
say,
exactly, you're right.
To say showstopper was not stopping the show, it should get 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever the maximum is.
Yeah,
The
correct.
maximum could be 1 or 2. Yeah.
And for any text input right there,
Yeah, that was my question was.
yeah,
What
that's
that means?
that means that you see
Oh,
it's on the teacher able to see that. So you will see the list of all attempts of copy and pasting that student did. So when it happened and what the value he or she actually pasted.
So if he did 3 times paste, 1
You will see this, 1, 2, 3, yeah. You will see sometimes more or less advanced user use the copy-paste technique even through their personal input. So you probably might see here, one word rearrangement or something like that. So for them, they know nothing about that. The functionality is working, but every time the Control V or the mouse right button paste, whatever, it will appear here in the list. So you always will see that start. And this functionality disabled in staging.
No shift insert.
Shift insert as well. The paste event in the browser.
Okay.
So we do not care how it happens. So the buttons or whatever.
Why is it disabled on staging?
That's the question we discussed. If your student is going to test the system and they probably will play the role of the teacher,
oh, okay.
I'm not sure that they would. I'm not sure, so we should
Yeah.
record that, but probably they.
We didn't want all the teachers to be
Oh,
known,
okay, so maybe we shouldn't talk about
but
it.
it's okay.
Yep, just cut it from video. So
So every time when the pasting this happened, that it would be just a record regarding this.
yes, for the particular question, where it happens, when it happens, and what was pasted.
This is nice.
And that's probably all that I would like to say. So we click the save button and blah blah blah. So
Can I ask you another question?
sure. Should I return to the
No, it's not necessary. So if it's just auto-graded, then how the copy-paste would be graded? No discussion.
But for example, the grades are 0.
Mhm.
Let's say there is a question, and the total number of points for the question is 10,
Mhm.
and it will be graded as 0.
I see. Okay.
But if using all other questions, the student will pass the score, will acquire the score, so he will pass anyway.
yeah.
So instead of having 80, he will pass with 70.
So pasting, copy and pasting technique doesn't affect auto grading at all.
Okay.
So it's just for the teacher. We of course can change the rules. That's that's whatever you want.
Just in a regular color sheet with the.
So it will not
Just
make it 0?
automatically.
No, because of course we can do that. My opinion, just as I mentioned, I technically can do the one word or the change the words. I'm writing some text and okay, I'm just reverting the words in the sentence, and probably again that's up to you.
Okay,
Guys.
so I was under the impression that it will bring the.
Yeah, it's good that it brings, and then maybe the teacher will decide it. I don't know.
I
Okay.
thought there was a 0, no? On that question?
Of course, that's a textual question. Textual question always 0 by default.
Okay, I see, because it requires.
Yeah. Technically, it also catches the copy and paste for the other parts. So if you
Okay, it is 0 anyway.
Yeah.
Zero anyway, and then it's.
For textual, it's 0 anyway, yeah. So you
Okay, so then it's.
And then it's
it makes
just
it
teacher's
easier,
decision.
yeah, textual questions always 0 by default. We have nothing to. So, and that's probably it. I can show you the staging system, which I filled a little bit with the data.
Can I ask you a
Sure.
question? Because the auto grading was passed in that case, right? But what if there was 5 textual questions that were not rated yet? Will the student receive the score as failed?
No, he will see that there's a pending review, and you will see that's in the section of for review. So,
It's a different notification mechanism. This is nice.
come on. Oh no, not that one. I'm logging into the staging system right now. That's the same. I've added this. Probably not the best way to do that, but highlighting of the environment currently you are in. We can remove it, but just, if you will work in multiple tabs, it probably will help a little bit, to differentiate. So that's the system that's, I did the testing, so you see that the multiple records right there, that no auto-graded, there are some of them was already reviewed, so that's, let's see how. Here's example, good, so that's the assignment failed, and despite it's 20 out of 30, which means he should pass, so you see that failed on showstopper. This question, for some reason I decided 0. And all other questions, here again mistake, it's how it looks like. No, I think that's pretty straightforward, that the highlighting and all this stuff. And that's one of the features. So when you go to the user management and you see the list of the whole users there, so you're able to find the user and do some, not too much. So you will see the history of the student there. So which quiz he taken, when it happened, when it was graded, the results, or even this one wasn't submitted and this needs to be reviewed. So I believe that might help if students come directly to you and ask.
3 times same test, so we can see the scores and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's separated into assignments. You can just create the assignment with the same combination of the student and the quiz. One more thing probably I forgot to mention is when you create the assignment, so here, when you create the assignment and you select the quiz and the group of the student, you're able to filter right there, let's say group A100, everybody. Once you click that button, that freezes the state of the quiz for that student, what it means. So we might assume that we give an assignment, and notice that, hey, there's some mistake in the quiz. So because that's the process separated in time, we don't know which student takes that assignment. It's probably somebody already taken the assignment, another one just opened the tab. You're not allowed, as soon as you created that, you're not allowed to change it. So what you can do, if you notice such situation, so you can delete an assignment and create a new one after you fix the issue with quiz. But so even after giving assignment, you can go here and adjust the quiz. But these changes would just not disappear in the student section.
We can test it on small groups first and reuse the assignments.
Yeah, so that's just because we have different students and they complete quiz in different point of time, so we just cannot, somebody already took the assignment, but the right question was changed, so what to do with that, that's kind of tricky. So, do you have any questions? Anything?
So they are able to take these assignments at home or only on campus?
The site is available.
Supposed to be able to get it from anywhere.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it was actually redirecting them to the local.
yeah. That was the issue. We will.
So I think something which Rinat should be able to handle.
Yeah. So here in the school, you see is resolved to ask, and when I'm doing outside, it will be resolved to the local school. Blah 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 with the numbers. That's yeah. So
Direction.
yeah. So that's the probably might be an issue with the emails, because when a user open emails here in the class, it should be routed
Yeah.
there. So it is a different links. We will talk with Renat about that. Probably I covered everything. So the home question for the teacher, again, that's just a general information. So you have some submitted quiz and just a navigation for any part of the application, and basic stuff, settings, change your name and change your password, of course, and forget password functionality also available on the registration page. That's it from my side. Anybody? Any questions?
Yeah, let me stop it.